welcome back to the Pat and Play podcast, episode 29. Thanks for joining us as always, folks. We got Linde and we got Balin. My wife was actually just taking the piss out of me that apparently whenever you guys are on the podcast, I do the same exact intro with the same exact tone of voice. But anyway, so apparently I was told to start with Balin. So thanks for joining, Balin. Thanks for joining, Linde.
Shout out to the wife.
Shout out to the wifey. Already starting the podcast off on a positive note. I'm getting brownie points. I love it. How we been? How are you guys?
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, well, as a United fan, you can say that. I just feel vindicated in everything I've said throughout the season. With my team, I'm just like, I told people, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
You've been on the anti-Sanchez wagon, basically since he joined Chelsea, and I've known you. I don't think there's been a time when you've been happy with this geezer. So
no, him, the centre backs, Pedro Neto as well, that Portuguese Nando's role. Yeah, it is what it is, man.
You can't, when you're a winger as fast as Pedro Neto, you can't get done like that because you're the fast one and you're the one without the ball. So
keep on showing him down the line. He's probably going to run out. He'll probably run
out.
I
was about to say.
Vinny Jr. This guy.
Bro.
Come on. Now, there was some immaturity there. But, Balin, you must be on cloud 9, bro. I mean, Manchester United genuinely are third. What is going on?
Brethren, order has been restored, guys. This is the Premier League we know it. The Premier League now, like we know it. Finally. No, I think this is just what happens when you be normal. This is all it is.
Sure.
We're going to find out Carrick has some super tactical, innovative, I don't know, inverted, false right back nine or something. But at the moment, it
get
just
the
looks
ball to Bruno,
pure.
cross the ball to your 6'5" striker, Sesko, and you score. Would have thought.
Yeah, man. I think to be fair, I was pretty high on United when the season started. I thought top 6 finish minimum with the squad they had. And obviously Amorim, it's like now it's purely evident to everyone that he wasn't the right guy for the job. And Carrick now, I don't think he's even doing too much, because I think the struggles that still exist in United have existed for a long time. It's just like when they play smaller teams and you let United have the ball, you can do something. But if you're able to score the amount of goals that they're able to score, and with the attackers that they've purchased, it's like that was a perfect squad to purchase, to be fair. Because now you look at the squad and you're like, wait a minute, to be fair, a bunch of managers could come in here and cook. That forward line is really, really good. Maybe in midfield they need to reinforce, but the forward line is really, really good.
That model of buying, Man United, I don't know if you agree, Balin, but over the last, say, decade since Fergie left, they did a lot of buying outside the league and bringing in players like Di Maria. And it's you pay the premium because they are exploding in their league, but you don't have the actual track record that they're going to do it. In a way, you did that with Šeško, but damn, I love the Mbumo and Cunha and whatnot. Those are the actual signings that have taken you up a level for me. Oh, I love those. But what are we saying in terms of reading the papers, guys? And the papers are telling me that Arsenal have destroyed football and that the beautiful game is gone. I'm talking to a United fan and a Chelsea fan, so I suspect maybe you guys agree with it. But what are we saying, guys? There is a lot of set pieces, winning games in the league. Linz, our game was 3 set pieces. There wasn't a single goal from open play, man. It's a bit, man. A bit odd.
I can't. It is a bit odd. It is. Football has stages. It shifts. I'm not gonna blame Arsenal. I just think it's the way it was going. The game was football in general was getting a bit more physical, and things like this, the margins become smaller. And if you see the death of creative players and players who do stuff on a whim, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, so if you just like really logically think about it and you look at the players who are on the pitch and some of that stuff, you start thinking to yourself, because Arsenal, I can't fully blame them, but then, yeah, they have a part to play. Because you look at their back line, two proper big centre backs, and then you get like the left back, he's a centre back. The right back can play centre back. So you got four like really strong dudes who can do stuff, and they're gonna be a threat on set pieces. You get me? So I think it was just bound to happen with the death of creative players, and yeah. But the only thing for me is I don't fully have a problem with the set piece thing. The thing that I do have a problem with is the physicality of the game now has gone to a point where it's borderline annoying now, where I think if you want to ref a physical game, fine, but we can't have the inconsistency. Unfortunately, I'm going to mention an Arsenal thing. It's not, Arsenal's not the point here. It's just, this happened back to back. The supposed push on Gabriel by Kolomwani, and then you see the hold of Saliba on João Pedro, and you're just like, well, you can't give the Gabriel push and then not give the Saliba hold. It's like, what's allowed now? And we're moving into this area where football can't be played like that. We've all played football where if it does get that physical, it starts getting annoying because somebody's going to be called for something where you're like, but that's been happening the whole game. Why are you calling it now? I think you sent it on one of our groups, Tim. It was a game between City and I think Liverpool, and they were showing the corners and you could see the spacing. People didn't even want to grab, but now it's gone too far. That's what we have to counteract, not necessarily the set pieces, because what are you going to do? Are you going to limit the amount of set pieces? Or you only get a set piece, or you only get a corner after the third time the ball goes out? Like, no, we don't want to do that.
Nah, of course, there's one thing I would say about the Gabriel push on the back, which is when I always remember when I used to jam as a CB, I knew if I pushed with one arm, I'd always get away with it. But it's like the moment a referee sees that movement, even if it's light, of two hands on the lower back, they always used to blow up, and that used to drive me absolutely mental, mate. Because I'd always do that little push just before contact so that the first touch is not so nice. And a lot of referees would basically call me up on that. And so I started moving to the one like arm with the elbow and pushing into the lower back that way. But in the penalty area, I'm with you. Like the holding, it's properly now, players are not looking at the ball and they're holding each other like this and like this and like this, and then just locking in for the whole quarter. They don't look at the ball.
A bear hug.
Yeah. I saw one in our game, Linde's, where I think it's Cole Palmer on Saka, and neither of them are involved in the corner, but they're just basically fighting. They're brawling. It looks like WWE, like an RKO is being done there, and no one's looking. And I just feel the referees might need to like take stock in the summer, because you can't make the changes mid-season. The clubs will say it's biasing other fixtures, blah, blah, blah. But in the summer, they got to figure out, do they go hard and start giving out penalties, or because the grappling's got excessive?
No, I agree 100%. I think even just before Chelsea's goal, Declan Rice with the whole handball incident. I don't know who it was that he was holding, but even that was just literally had his arms. Yeah, I think it might have been. I'm not entirely sure. But even that's just over the top. That's just saying, no one's trying to play the ball at all. And that's why, in fact, what you get majority of the time is these guys taking corners. He's trying to put it on the keeper, just put it on. No, that there's so much going on that the ball could just literally find its way into that.
Is bound.
So I do think it's something that we need to address. You know, I miss seeing, like, I think it was Puyol in 2010. You know, where you get these towering guys running from outside the box and coming in with these towering heads, and you get some really convincing headed goals. Now it's always these ones where, like, half of the time, you're not even sure if it's a goal you're not sure if it's a goal, and you're not sure who headed it in because there's 4 or 5 guys on the line. So you're like, okay, we need to watch it back to see if it's Timber's goal or it's our own goal from Sanchez. There's just that's the thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like half the time, you always have to watch it back to actually see what actually unfolded. But look, I guess it's just where the game is at the moment. And also, like Linde said, you found a formula that's helping you win games. You've got very strong centre backs, and you've got other players in the team who are always just waiting for anything to drop, particularly in big games like that. I think had this not been a consistent pattern with Arsenal where they're only scoring with set pieces, in a game like that, against Chelsea, you can expect sometimes goals like that where scrappy, it's two big teams. But just because it's become such a pattern and we see it every weekend, not just with Arsenal, it's getting a bit boring. It is.
XG is at its lowest it's been at this point in the season for, I think it was like 12 years or something. It does look like, I think going back to your point, Linz, around like football is getting, I think, tougher, and set pieces, maybe when we were growing up with ball, you would look around and go, I don't need to focus on corners right now, because if you, for example, in 08, invent a way of passing short passes in between people who move and invent tiki-taka, you can literally score goals for fun. Then they move to like the more juego de posición, like Guardiola 5-lane style, and all you need to do is run to the byline, cut it back, and there'll be someone in the zone 14 or in the P spot to bang that in. 100%. The Sterling style, right?
Sure.
Now it feels like, I watched a couple of games on the weekend, like the Brentford-Burnley game. There are no bad teams. I'm sorry. Even people are saying Wolves is a bad team. Wolves is not a bad team. No, refuse.
They've got it together now.
I refuse. When you watch these teams play, yes, they might not have the points, or they have the points that associates them with a Derby County or like a horrendous, like a Sheffield Wednesday Premier League season. No, bro. It's because everybody from 18 up is well-funded, tactically brilliant, amazing managers. They leave you no space. And so I guess set pieces might be a response to like a league where we don't give anything. There's no space, guys, anywhere on the pitch. Like Cole Palmer against Arsenal. He had one chance at the back post on his weak foot, which he might have done better with. But this is like one of the best 10s in the UK. Nothing. Saka, one of the best wingers in the world. Pretty much nothing. These oaks don't get space anymore, guys. It's a shame. I'm not going to lie. I visually and aesthetically take me back to the 2000s, because I do think it's just more fun to watch, to be honest. Yeah. It's got a little overly physical, I think, to use your expression.
Yeah, I think as well, man, just creative players, we're not producing saucy enough players, bro, who can take players on and do stuff. So it's like, if you have like one guy like Cole Palmer, like for Chelsea, for instance, you look at it and you're like, okay, if we were to get something from an attacking return, it would be Cole Palmer or João Pedro. That's where it's coming from. And it's like, that's not enough, bro. And maybe that's where...
JP was great though, hey? Again.
Yeah, JP, very, very, very good player, man. But to be fair, that's why I think, like, when I look at, like, Barcelona, if you've got Rafinha on one side and you have Yamal on the other side, brother, and you have a striker who can lay and whatever, and you've got flipping Pedri doing... It creates that dynamic that, listen, we want to create an open play chance here. You can't fight it. So I think that's what the Premier League needs, a bit more of those players where we have a lot of system players, guys like Pedro Neto, or Martinelli, guys like that, where it's like that thing is not there anymore.
But you also see it, right? Like Elise leaves the Premier League, goes to Bundesliga, breaking record numbers. You have Rafinha leaves Leeds, goes to Barca, record numbers. It feels like if you've got a bit of sauce, you want to be in a league now where the asymmetry in power between the club you move to and the guys you're facing every week is pretty big. Whereas I just don't think the gap between, the Wolves-Arsenal game, for example, worst team in the league versus the guys at the top. And honestly, they ran us ragged. Premier League's got, in some ways, maybe too close. We need a few poor teams in the bottom 10 to enjoy those 5-0 wins where all of our guys can snap pads.
I just also think it's
talking about stat padding though.
It's too much of a...
Go on, Balin, go on.
the physicality is great, but it also just means that it's a running game because these guys are all so physically strong. It's a running game. This is the thing. If you're gonna have 11 players on the other side of the pitch who are just prepared to run and go at it the whole game, you're gonna get games where Arsenal go 2-0 up, but we'll still have the legs to try and make a game out of it. Whereas in these other leagues, it's not so running focused. Obviously, fitness is important, but like you won't hear. I don't think you get a player like James Milner having his praises sung in a league like La Liga. There's no space for a player like that in La Liga. Only in the Premier League where you'd get somebody that's like he's a good player, great player, but like there's no real source to him. But he gets praised week in, week out for being so fit and his work rate and his like his ethic and the discipline that he brings to the game, you know. But in La Liga, Pedri is this like it's slim, like there's no real physical presence about him. Gavi's this like pit bull supposedly. All of these very like just silky, slender Busquets guys. Not so big on the physical, but big on playing ball. And I think that's why you see the contrast with the different leagues. Pretty like Pedri probably does do well in the Prem, but definitely not as well as he's doing in La Liga.
La Liga.
You just don't get those numbers anymore in the Premier League. We're just not hitting them. I think Kane and Salah have proven that if you want to put those numbers up and Haaland, of course, those numbers up in the league, you need to combine being in the perfect system at the perfect time and have a perfect season.
Sure.
Which fair play. Those guys managed to do relatively regularly, but look at Chris Wood, players like that, they can have fire season, but once you're figured out, and that's that. This is similar. See what Ekitike looks like when he comes back properly. Guys, something did happen over the last week. I wanted your thoughts on the UCL draw, Champions League, which we're all in. What are we thinking? How do we feel the draw is played out? I know everyone is thinking the same thing. Easy as hell.
We should be asking you how you
yes,
feel.
Sir. Yes, sir. It's semi-finals minimum. Minimum semi-finals. Minimum. Yeah. If you go out before the semi-finals, somebody's head needs to roll, bro. Minimum.
Brother, I like
shout out.
You guys know I like
I'm genuinely like I'm backing those boys for the Champions League round, bro. I'm backing Bodo. I might have to buy a shirt.
But hey, the way they pulled apart Inter with some of that.
The way they moved the ball, bro.
Nah, I'm sorry. Those Scandies, I'm worried.
They play some good football, bro.
They really
it's like
do.
having like 11 Sigurdssons on the floor on the pitch, bro. Plus they have technique, they can shoot. It's wild, bro.
Mate, and it'll be some random guy like Hals, Jorgensen, Solberg, Sorgut. And you're like, mate, what? Are you real? You search on FIFA.
Like a God of War character or something.
Yeah, bro.
God of War, that's perfect, actually.
Man.
I look, obviously you're right. If Arsenal don't get to semis and face Barcelona, I think everybody will be surprised about everything that's happened on both sides of that side of the draw. Okay, maybe Atleti. I suppose they've shown Barcelona this season that they can slap them up if they want to. But yeah, if Arsenal aren't in the semi, I think something has gone wrong with our Champions League campaign. But I've got another. I think it works for Arsenal in two ways, but I'll get to the second way in a minute. What do you think about the rest of the draw?
The other side of the bracket,
it's hard.
that's where the movies are going to come, bro. I know people are like, this. You literally can't, because I think all the teams, bar Bayern, that side, have had like weird, inconsistent seasons.
Yeah.
PSG in their own league, they've been up and down. In the Champions League, they've been up and down. So you can't even say they've been focusing on one, not on the other. Real Madrid lost yesterday. So, yeah, Bayern have wrapped up their league, which helps as well. So I just do think Bayern can do something. They can. And I think they've got a bunch of players where this is the thing that takes their careers to the next level. If you think like Olise, Musiala, Kane himself, a trophy like this is like it's a proper stamp. Luis Diaz would be a hero if he delivers this one for Bayern, because it's like, you've just come here. What are you doing delivering this trophy? So I think on that side, I think Bayern is really the one to watch out for. Whether others, it's like anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah. Bayern beating Atalanta feels like a given. But that Real Madrid City, oh man, I feel for both clubs because they draw each other every year. But that scenes, guys, I love that being early on. I love it. Balin, what would you predict if you're saying Real Madrid City?
It's a tricky one, man. I see two very, I don't know, inconsistent teams, or teams that are just not getting Real Madrid or Man City energy from this season. So I honestly don't know which way to call it. There's a part of me that thinks, yeah, Pep will find a way to get it done, but then that thinks Vinny and those boys can also string something together. But I'm not sold by Boloa. I think if it's gonna come down to the coaches, you give me Pep, you give me Boloa, you know who wins that. So I think City's
Pep is the dog walk Arbeloa.
Yeah.
Nah, I genuinely think so, bro. Some of the games that Madrid have lost in the past 2 weeks, it's just like, bro.
It's even worse when Madrid are losing games. No, when Madrid aren't scoring a goal, that's a catastrophe. That's a catastrophe.
We might see 2 managerial changes there by Madrid by the end of this season. I'm not convinced Arbeloa will keep it, especially if City smash him and they get knocked out.
Perez will come in and coach himself.
Yeah, you might as well sack him.
Perez will come and coach the boys.
100%.
He'll come and.
There will be a murder there in Madrid. 100%. Some other saucy fixtures. I mean, PSG. Linz, how are you feeling about PSG? Pretty.
Bro, the sacking of Enzo Maresca. Because tactically, even this weekend's game against Arsenal, you look at that and you think tactically you would have had something where and one where we could win the game. So you look at Liam and I can't even say that it's not that I'm not sold on him or whatever. It's not even that bad. He's bought he's refreshed some stuff and it's looked good. He has, I'm not gonna lie. The only problem is, I think the problems that were evident under Maresca, especially towards the end, are still clearly evident under Liam now. So it's like, Liam is not going to make certain people better centre-backs. Obviously, he's got the Saar kid playing at the back, which is great. That's great. But Sanchez is still there. Chalobah is a half and half. So you look at that and you're like, a game of this magnitude against PSG, who are... what they're doing is unethical. This thing of they're not playing 2 games. How are they allowing that? What are we doing here, bro? Like, what are we doing here?
This feels like cheating, bro. This is cheating. The French Federation cheating, right?
You get me? Because it's like what used to happen before is they used to make people play games on Friday to make sure they have the maximum amount of rest, which is fine for me because I'm like, yeah, dog, but you played before, so it helps, it doesn't help, whatever it is. But now where you're not playing the game at all.
Well, money.
Come on, bro. Come on. And Chelsea can't afford to say, well, we're not going to play our main team in the league because like we need the league position. So it's like you want to finish 5th because apparently 5th will still get Champions League. So it's like the catch-22 in that way.
Lins. That's got to be something around like French government or national broadcasters like the Canal Plus guys who've bought DSTV and Supersport and all that stuff going, we need PSG to advance to keep French domestic audiences watching Canal Plus, and otherwise all the money we spent on these broadcast rights don't earn us anything back in ad rev. True. It has to be something like that.
It has to be something like, I hear you, like big higher ups making decisions, because it is crazy.
That's unfair.
Yeah, because obviously there's TV schedules that need to be rescheduled. There's flipping fans who've bought tickets that need to be changed around. So many things where it's like, I really hope they lose. That would be the funniest thing. If you still lose and you've done that, you suck.
I'm willing to bet that Chelsea beat PSG, and I'm willing to bet that you do it in a convincing manner where everyone goes, like, I think it's going to be one of those weeks where no one talks about anything else except the Chelsea victory over PSG. I think I'm so bullish on it. I'm gonna bet big on this one. Prep to lose, but I'm gonna bet big. I've watched PSG a few times this season, and I think something's going on. I don't know if Luis Enrique's lost Dembele, but there's a vibe, and I in a way feel like Chelsea grinding it out in difficult games every single week in this nightmare of a league that we experience, where every week is just stress, just builds up a resilience and a grit that means that gradually we're going to conquer Europe. And it's already starting to happen, but PSG is not the PSG from last year, I think. And Liam, I know you don't... In the Arsenal games, I think he's been actually quite boring and he's missed an opportunity to try and like make a statement. But in all the other games, I've got to say, mate, like his record's really good. I think you've only lost 3 games and they're all Arsenal games, right?
Yeah, and in the Prem, that was our first loss. And
that's decent. That's really decent.
The problem is the draws.
It's gonna be tricky. PSG will be out for some revenge because you guys have humbled them at World Cup. So definitely, I think it'll be a walk in the park. But Champions League, I don't know how you guys do it, man. You can write you guys up, and then all of a sudden, you're gonna see Caicedo in the Champions League final scoring a rocket from.
Yeah, I won't lie to you. I know my team.
Bro.
Get to the same.
And then all of a sudden, there you go. Reece James is hoisting up the Champions League trophy, bro. So, you can't write Chelsea off. But the likes of Due, Kvaratskhelia, I still think they're gonna give you guys a run for your money, particularly that back line. I don't trust with Sanchez. I know. I understand why you get so animated by the Sanchez. I saw it against Arsenal that guy is a cost, bro. No, 100%.
It's like he's doing it on purpose, bro. It's like he's doing it on purpose.
Arsenal really actually, the fact that we walk away from that game with no instances where you can say we exploited Sanchez's poor distribution, his bozo gene, like insta mistake thing that he does. Like, Arsenal do that a lot, by the way. I said that in our beautiful game chat. We will have a club like with Sanchez just trying to give you a goal, just trying their best to give you a goal. And we just fumble it, bro. It's like, I don't know what to do with this opportunity. And then we resort to a freaking set piece. It's so annoying. Man. I was losing my mind. Like, guys, just if you're going to press that high up and do the high turnovers, you got to finish them. For God's sake. Come on. Anyway, it's a quick one on the UCL. I wanted to make this point around, I think people have been focusing on the draw being positive for Arsenal in relation to the chances of Arsenal winning the Champions League. I actually think the bigger win is the chances it increases for us winning the title. Because you look at the fixture list, and it was already slightly more difficult for City because the final 3 games are like Villa, I think it was like Palace and like Everton or something, and then we've got 3 relegation candidates. We've got Chelsea to play away, which I think personally, is it away or is it at home? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I think it might be away.
Yeah, which I think is a big game. The way Chelsea plays big games, I think I personally think Liam Rossini is going to take points off City, and I think it will be his moment to say, look what we've done, like we're really making strides. But
Chelsea will be at home. Chelsea will be at home.
Things are going to happen, and then Pep's going to lose. I'm going to predict it. You're going to take off points. He's going to do that thing where he like scratches his head until it looks weird and raw. And then we're going to be talking about a meltdown again. This is happening, guys. Bet on it.
But what about you guys? I don't trust
we
you
might
guys.
also bottle it. We might also bottle it.
I foresee you guys drawing tomorrow to play.
So are you guys trying to say that Manchester United is winning the league?
That's the one thing we're not saying.
No. Just to be clear.
That's the one
you might go undefeated.
Not saying.
But
2026.
Under Carrick. You're dreaming.
Brother, that guy will get 3 haircuts in a row. Yeah, come on.
No, it is that penalty that Cunha got. The more I see it, the more I'm like,
that was a crazy. That was not.
Bro, Lacroix barely touched him.
Look, I think penalty, yes.
Right,
but I think the red card, that one's like.
because he doesn't go for the ball, they have to give the red card.
Yeah.
Like
Then
by
he
the rules,
doesn't-
if you're
yeah.
saying it's a foul and he didn't go for the ball,
They-
but they
I
barely
see
touched
it.
him, bro. But my boy
100%,
found fingers. He's like, nah, I'm going down.
100%.
I reckon if you take a look at the City fixture list for, if you assume they beat Bayern, if you assume they beat Madrid, and then they face Bayern, and then they face the winner of Liverpool, Chelsea, or PSG
Too much.
in
It's too much.
two-legged fixtures. So
It's too
the
much.
game against Chelsea is in between the two games against Bayern, the two games against Madrid, I think. That is rough, man. It means you're going away, then you're going away to Chelsea, then you're going back home for the return fixture.
What they
just
need
don't
to
like
do
that.
is that first leg against Madrid, you need to convincingly beat Madrid like 4-0.
Yeah,
If you don't do that
Anyway.
and still tie it 0-0 or 1-1,
yeah.
it's a movie.
And they've got the Carabao Cup final against us wedged in there as well, which makes that fixture list even more tricky. I just feel their squad is not that durable. There's a lot of injuries in there, and I just think if Semenyo or
over.
Gay get injured,
It's
I
cooked.
think it's over. I do.
It's cooked.
I really
It's
do.
cooked.
They can keep Haaland,
Semenyo.
but it's Semenyo and Gay who have changed, bro. They've been incredible. So what are we saying in terms of predictions? If I had to give you 10 grand to put on City or Arsenal winning the league this season, Linz, Balin, you got to nail your flags, your colours to a post. What are we saying, guys? It's time to make your predictions. What date is it today? It's March 3rd. What are you saying? May 20th. Who's picking up the Premier League title?
I think personally, as I said from the beginning of the season, it has to be Arsenal's year. I'm not moving away from that. I just think, a slim City squad haven't been convincing from the beginning of the season. Arsenal squad, we can see are playing with a lot of purpose and are always just going to find a way to win. You're doing it without Saka. You're doing it without Odegaard. You're doing it without guys that are supposed to be standouts. So I just think,
Don't get me started on Saka.
that's a whole, that's a
whole
whole
other
nother
podcast for
podcast.
another
That's a whole
day.
other podcast. So I just think even if they have to like abandon winning anything else, the one thing that they will win is the Premier League.
Linz, I feel like you're going to go the other way. I think you're betting on City. That's what
Yeah,
my heart is saying.
and my reason, if you asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said Arsenal. I think the game against Wolves and Brentford, those
Not
games,
really.
I was like, you need to win those games because it's like, I start looking at it and I'm like, okay, what's the difference between Wolves and Brighton? Nothing. Will you be more motivated against Brighton? No. It's the same sort of thing. So it's like Brighton can do something. And for me, that's the problem where I think it's not even City now. It's like Pep. It's Pep. That's the guy. So the problem is him, that psychotic Spanish brew. Like, he's on that run now where they're just winning. They'll win 1-0 and whatever. And they did it without Haaland this weekend. And
They didn't
it's
look
just one of those
convincing,
things.
They haven't for a
They
while.
didn't look
But
convincing,
that's the
but they
thing.
did it.
They did it. So I think the problem for me is that I think City could just be dumped out of the Champions League, and that could help them even more. Where it's like,
Don't say
well,
that. I didn't think about that.
yeah, right. So you get out of the Champions League, then it's like, yeah, all we have is this thing, and we focus on it. And where I think Arsenal not getting dumped out anytime soon. So, yeah, because I can see Arsenal winning the Champions League. I can't see City winning the Champions League.
I agree on that. There are so
You
many
see, so-
hurdles there. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Ask me again in like a month.
But for now, I'm gonna put down that on the 3rd of March, Lynn said City and
Yeah.
Balin said Arsenal, and I'm gonna go with.
Manchester.
I am gonna have to back my boys, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm flip
Gonna be
flopping.
tight.
I'm all over the show. Sometimes it's so close, and like Wolves and Brentford, We don't show up. Then Spurs and Chelsea, we do show up. Why are we showing up in the 2 tough games? Why are we not just blowing Wolves out of the water?
Yeah.
Look, man, Arsenal have had attacking problems for a very long time. Like for years, Arteta has struggled, I think, to get consistent runs where our strikers show their best selves. And the Saka thing is something we can have another chat about on another podcast. And similarly, Trossard is out of form. Martinelli has 1 Premier League goal in 22 games. Noni has 1 Premier League goal in since he joined. Arteta doesn't get GA out of forwards, and it's a big problem. And I think Arsenal just have to hook or by crook get it over the line. How many games have we got left,
now,
guys? Are we on 9 or
We've got fixtures tonight and tomorrow.
9 games?
So, and Thursday.
Yeah, Brighton will be big. Because Fabian Hutzler at Brighton has had our number on a couple of occasions. I really don't like the guy, and he's having a very tough season, which I enjoy. So we can put a nail in that coffin. Yippee, mate. Yippee.
Oh, man.
On that note, 2 of us believe Arsenal will win the title. 1 of us believes City will win the title. I will take 2-1 odds. Guys, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast. As always, we really appreciate it. Anyone who made it this far, guys, we appreciate you too. If you can hear the sirens in the background, it wasn't me. And as always, thank you for listening, guys. Give us a like, a follow, and a download. Alrighty. Balin, Linz,
Welcome to
ciao for now.
Pat and Play.
Away.